50th anniversary of the American Civil War's first shot being fired at Fort Sumter in South Carolina. That was yesterday, but this weekend, Maryland's involvement and a weekend of events and activities commemorating our great state's involvement with the Civil War. Talking to us this morning about that from the B&O Museum is Mr. Courtney Wilson. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Hi, Charlie.
This seems like was something that was a very big undertaking to get all of these events in place.
Well, it actually was huge and about a year and a half in the planning, but these first couple of months of April and May, 150 years ago, Baltimore was the front line of the Civil War.
As what most people don't realize is while that first shot was fired at Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina, the first blood was dropped and shed here.
Right on Pratt Street downtown.
Explain the history of that, because a lot of people may not know that.
Sure. Well, a group of federal soldiers responding to Abraham Lincoln's call for volunteers entered the city by train, and because their rails were disrupted, they had to march across the city, and an angry mob attacked them.
That was April 19th, 1861.
That's correct.
All right, some images right here we pulled off the internet for you here to take a look at this. Some renditions of what the day was like here in Baltimore. Now, as for the weekend getting ready, there's a full swath and a full spectrum of scheduled events. So we're going to see a little bit of everything, aren't we?
You betcha. The whole weekend kicks off Friday with the B&O Railroad Museum's opening of its Civil War exhibit, The War Came by Train. The Maryland Historical Society is opening also on Friday, an exhibit called Divided Voices. On Saturday, a grand procession will take place along the route of the Pratt Street riot, including contemporary military units, reenactors. These are people representing groups that were actually in the riot. Fort McHenry has an encampment, a Civil War encampment all weekend. It's just one thing after another. So if you have a passing interest in the Civil War, Baltimore is the place to be this weekend.
What was Baltimore's such a significant role in this? I know we just recently had on a professor from Goucher College talking about its position in proximity to our nation's capital. Had they seceded and joined the South, our nation's capital would have been wrapped. So I guess that is the biggest reason why.
Absolutely. Baltimore is in a critical geographical position right above Washington, D.C. and the rest of the territory that had claimed loyalty to the Union.
And so much of Maryland was involved in the Civil War, so many historic sites. There's actually going to be a trail, a touring trail, so people can go see some of Maryland's most significant points, correct?
Sure, and everybody should keep their ears open because these celebrations are going to continue for the next 5 years.
5 years?
There are events planned from this weekend that go all the way out to the surrender of Lee at Appomattox and Lincoln's assassination at the end, and then the Emancipation Proclamation, of course, in the middle. So there are so many things just going to tick along for the next 5 years.
And speaking of President Lincoln's assassination, Robert Redford has a movie coming out very soon called The Conspirator. So it's all kind of tied in with that. That movie is going to be coming out very soon as well. So not only can we see it from the historical perspective here in Baltimore and throughout the state of Maryland, you can even catch that critical time in film as well. Now this wraps up Sunday. So we have 3 full days that we can take part. How are things wrapping up Sunday?
They're going to wrap up with no big bang, but there's lots going on, and just I would encourage everybody to visit as much as they could.
And it is a full plethora of events. Baltimore.org if you want to see the full schedule of events from Friday through Sunday. Again, it is the Civil War 150, the Baltimore commemoration, weekend of events, tours of Fort McHenry, everything. Thank you so much, Courtney, for your time today.
My
Continued
pleasure,
success, and have a great weekend.
Thanks.